show, ladies and gentlemen. Paul, now that we've had the Red Hot Chili Peppers on the show, you know what's going to happen.
What?
Well, for the next 3 or 4 weeks, every night, Wendell's going to come up to me before the show and say, Dave, can I take my shirt off?
Steve, I hope you don't let him do that.
What?
I hope you don't let him do that.
All right, maybe I won't. Oh, he's doing it now.
Oh.
Our next guest was the lead singer of Spinal Tap. He was also, yeah, Paul, you were in that film.
Oh, I was?
Yeah.
That's right, I was.
You played like a...
I played Artie Fufkin, the promo. This guy was fabulous.
He was also Lenny on the television program Laverne and Shirley, and he can now be seen on this very network in the show Grand every Thursday night, I believe.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Michael McKean. Michael. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah.
Yes, David and I worked together.
Long time ago.
Before we had real jobs.
19, gosh, it must have been like 77 or something.
Or no, it had to be, 77, 78, yeah. This man was the host of a game show pilot. Yes, they do exist. It sounds like, almost like they should spring like mushrooms from the mildew.
It was quite a show, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was called The Riddlers, and the premise was, as I recall, you spent 5 minutes on one riddle, and then 1 minute on 5 riddles, just to, get
You were one of the celebrity stars.
I was a celebrity star, along with...
Who else was the
Robert
big lineup?
Urich.
Robert Urich?
Robert Urich.
Yeah, from Mannix,
at the time.
right? No, what was the show from the show Spencer for Hire?
No, before that.
Yeah, Vegas.
No,
Dantana.
before that. No, that was.
Hey, I think we got a game show here.
Career moves. No, he was on Soap, and then he was on something, and then he was on the Riddlers, and of course the rest is history.
Yeah.
And Joyce Bulliphant.
Yeah.
Remember Joyce Bulliphant?
Yes, from
little blonde helmet.
Nice woman. Everybody was like, oh, well, that was unnecessary.
No.
You don't need to say little blonde helmet look.
No, she didn't have the helmet look, but her hair was blonde and had the helmet look. I'm sorry. And hey.
I'm just
And
enjoying.
the first time I met this man.
Yeah, but let me just interrupt you.
Okay.
I can remember doing that. We were supposed to do 2 of those shows that night.
Yeah.
And we taped the first one, and after the first show...
good.
Yeah, the producer said, I think we got it all. We don't need to do another one.
If we pull the plug now, we'll save a... Yeah.
Oh, man, was that... well...
But you were funny, though, because you were the first game show host I had ever seen who knew it was crap.
Well,
it was wonderful. And I was very impressed with that.
It was a gig, you know?
Yeah,
it was something to do.
gig.
Yeah.
It was a gig.
And then you knew Paul before Spinal Tap, right?
Yeah. Paul was in a series. Actually, the first time I met Paul, about 5 minutes after I'd met him, he showed me a shirt that he owned that said Paul. An electric letter.
Are you doing a little Paul there?
What?
Are you doing a little
It's hard not to slip it. I'm doing Michael Leeson, but it's clever. Yeah, he plugged it into the wall and it lit up and it said, no, it was a battery pack.
That's right.
You had
I
a shirt
to wear
with
that
your
on the
name
show.
on it, Paul?
I was on a show at that time. I had to wear a battery-powered
He
shirt.
played a character named Paul who had wardrobe that lit up, and he proved it to me. So snap judgments being very important in this business.
Yeah, and
I'm
did
still
you, Paul,
working on
did you
that.
have the little blonde helmet look in those days?
No, I didn't.
Anyway, thank you for letting us take a walk into that nasty ignominy.
Ooh,
but,
boy.
well, what brings you to New York City now?
I'm doing a play
Oh.
on Broadway, of all
Big
places.
time. Oh, man, really?
Yeah. We're going to be at the Richard Rogers Theater. The play is called Accomplice. It was written by Rupert Holmes.
Oh, now, this was done in Los Angeles for a long time, right?
Absolutely the world premiere of this play.
I'm
No.
sorry.
Sometimes they think that because you did it in California that it's, that you can write about it in a couple of paragraphs and send it on its
Oh,
way.
but see, I was under the impression that it had a
very good play.
very successful run out there. And
A tremendously successful run, but a lot of shows did well in L.A. and came to New York and were, slaughtered on 10th Avenue.
So when does this begin?
This begins, previews start April 6th. I do that when I'm simulating nervousness. In the play, I do this several times, and it's very convincing.
Well, that alone would be reason. That alone would be reason to attend.
Yeah. But the actual performances begin April 26th.
Yeah. And you had the same role, obviously, that you had if the
That's
play had
right.
been performed somewhere else.
If it had been performed I would have been
Now,
involved
what about
in
the
same
Grand? Is that ongoing? Are you still in that? Is that...
Well, we shot 13 of them, and once everyone's seen all 13, and they, sit around and close the doors and smoke cigarettes, and then they decide.
But you're one of the wealthiest men in show business.
Probably.
No, but I mean...
Well, I was getting $1 million a week on Laverne and Shirley there for at least I'm sorry. I mean,
Man.
no.
And that's when $1 million was $1 million.
It really went a long way, yeah. And I was renting at the time, so it's not like I had a lot of house payments to make. Yeah.
No major overhead.
Yeah, probably one of the wealthiest and the happiest man, sure.
We have to do a commercial, and then we'll be right back. After that, we'll be right back. Just before we went out to do that show that you mentioned a few minutes ago,
Yes.
Joanne Worley, who was also on the
Dear
show,
lady.
comes up to me and she says, you know, if this gets on the air for the rest of your life, you'll be a game show host.
Yeah.
And I think she meant it as words of encouragement.
Yeah, well, I did, the first time I was on a game show, which is, I did the Pyramid Show a couple times, and ABC came to me and said, you know, you're really good at this. Would you like to host? I mean, they're really excited about you hosting a show like this, which is like finding out that a non-attractive girl has a big crush on you. You know? It's like you're flattered because, oh, I scored, but I'm going to hide now. You know what I mean?
And then at one point, and I don't know how much of this you want to discuss, but you were in one of the funniest comedy groups ever.
Oh, really?
Don't you think so?
I was terribly drunk, so I don't recall. Oh, you mean the credibility game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was you,
good.
and who else was in
And
that?
Harry Shearer.
Yeah.
And David L. Lander.
Yeah.
And a guy named Richard Beebe.
Yeah.
And, we played New York in 1974 at the Bottom Line. We opened for Billy Cobham. And I always think about, when I'm in a certain neighborhood around the Bottom Line, I always think about Billy Cobham refusing to remove his drum kit for our set. So we had all this elaborate staging to do, and it's much smaller than this desk, you know. And it looked like a pawn shop out there.
And you had his drums through the whole set.
And we almost, actually, the group kind of split up before one performance because we were all furious about this drum stuff. And Harry, who can be a volatile human being, very nice man, but, you know, he said, all right, that does it. If he's not going to move he's not going to move the drums, then let's go out there and let's just tell this audience, all of which were big jazz fans who had no use for anything else. Yeah, let's tell this audience what a jerk he really is. So, yeah, that's a good idea. Get him on our side right away. So we had this big fight, and we went out, we did the first couple of sketches in tears because the group was breaking up, and it was very sad. But we were funny when we were
I remember
not
you guys did, and I hope I'm not misremembering something here, every year the big Rose Parade.
Oh, yeah.
You guys did your own coverage of the Rose Parade, and you were, I think, the first ones to be doing it, and it was very, very funny.
Well, it was fun to comment once and for all on how incredibly flimsy they look close up.
Yeah.
When they go right by you, it's like, what is this? Is like the high school play that's going by here. Now, there are a lot of them, and they get more and more vulgar as the day goes on.
Yeah, and they're colorful.
And they're very colorful, and they're all made out of mums and all those
and seeds. You get into the problem parts of the float to fit in with the design and style of the float.
Right.
It no longer is flowers, it's then seeds.
Yeah, it's pollen.
Yeah.
You're seeing an allergy go down the middle of the boulevard.
Anyway, that too was a long time ago. And now
we're in the present.
Yeah. I didn't realize this. You have a 14-year-old daughter.
Son.
So, well,
Son.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't gained a daughter. I've lost a son.
Yeah.
No,
And do you find that odd sometimes? You step back and think to yourself, man, I have a 14-year-old child here?
I would think it odder if this is the first I was hearing about it. I'd certainly be surprised. He has been with us right along. It is a little bit odd, especially when I think, I'm here in New York City, and I think about when I was 14, I would take the train in from Long Island. I grew up on Long Island, and we would take the train in, two people?
Yeah.
Two hands. Anybody go to North Shore High School? Go to North Shore? No, okay. But when we were 14, we would take the train into the city. I would never let my son come into New York City alone.
Yeah.
I mean, that was,
It's a generation has passed, and things are much, much different.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of, thanks to the evening news, we've seen a lot of things that can happen to 14-year-olds when you put them on a train alone.
How long are you going to be in town with the big play? Hopefully a long run?
You got me, as long as they keep coming.
Well, listen,
or else when I go back to Grand, if Grand gets picked up.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, while you're here, come back another night. Do you mind? Nice to see you.
Very much.
Thanks again, Michael.
There's really 4 Easter bunnies. The one who comes to our house has big magic shoes. They can make him disappear. They can make him do tricks. You can juggle basically everything but bananas, and even juggles Reese's miniatures. Sometimes he hides them in the flowers. One time we saw all these wrappers, but no candy. I thought I was supposed to eat the candies, not the Easter bunny.
Happy Easter from Reese's Miniatures.
There's